What's going on, guys? Austin Zabak here with another video, and in this video we're going to be talking about the Tesla Model 3. Now, I was not sure that I made the right purchase when I initially bought my Tesla Model 3. There was a ton of forums I was reading online where it seemed like there was a ton of issues. There was even Tesla employees that were coming out and saying that a lot of the parts and a lot of the Teslas were flawed right from the factory. There was a Tesla engineer that actually estimated that about 40% of all Tesla Model 3 parts needed to be reworked, okay? 40% of them were actually not any good. These issues were such a massive problem for Tesla that they had to go from their expectation being 20,000 Tesla Model 3s produced per month to just 2,500 a week. The three main things that I personally look for when I'm looking for a car are number one, cost, number two, reliability, and number three, enjoyment. So we're going to talk about in today's video exactly what I think about my Tesla Model 3 and if I didn't make the right purchase. And all I need you to do is go ahead and smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm, and we're gonna jump right into it. Okay, really quick, so in case you were wondering, I have a 2020 Tesla Model 3 Performance. And I have the white exterior with the white leather interior, which was a $1,000 upgrade. I also have the Performance wheels. So first and foremost, let's go ahead and jump into how much does a Tesla Model 3 actually cost. Now, if you just want to get the bottom of the line Tesla Model 3 and you just want to go ahead and get the standard range plus, and you don't want to do any upgrades at all, the total cost will be about $37,000. So again, if you end up going ahead and going with the standard range plus and you don't end up getting the Performance and you don't get the long range, that'll give you about 263 miles of range. It'll give you about 140 mile an hour top speed and a 5.3 second 0 to 60. But if you go ahead and you upgrade to the long range, which again I highly recommend that you do, especially if you like going on road trips, you like traveling, and maybe you want to like camping your Tesla, right? You want to drive up to the mountains and you want to just like chill, you want to relax, I would definitely go with the long range. Now the long range goes ahead and it adds about $10,000 to the purchase price, making the cost of the car about $46,000 to $47,000, give or take. And this long-range upgrade is going to put you at about 353 miles of range on the 2020s with about 145 mile an hour top speed and a 4.2 second 0 to 60. And finally, if you end up going ahead and going with the Performance, which is what I have, okay, it's going to go ahead and it's going to bump you up about another $7,000 or $8,000. So you end up winding up at about $54,000 or $55,000, and again, that is a base model Performance. But here's what's crazy. You lose a little bit of range, you go from that 353 down to about that 315 mile range, but the 0 to 60 goes from 4.2 to 3.1. So you're 1.1 seconds faster on the 0 to 60. Now let me tell you something, okay? I personally have kind of a theory, a working theory, that my Tesla is even faster than 3.1. I've seen a couple of articles and I've seen a few things online where there's some different people that have clocked a Tesla Model 3 at about 2.9. And let me tell you, okay, I've done the 0 to 60 many, many times in my personal Tesla, and it is pretty dang fast.
I would smack myself in the face with the camera.
Now, if you go ahead and you do it like I did it, you end up going with a white exterior. It actually comes with the white exterior, okay? Now, if you go ahead and you upgrade, I think the black is an additional $1,000. I think the gray is an additional $1,000. The blue is an additional $1,000. And the red, for whatever reason, is an additional $2,000. If you go ahead and you go with the white leather interior like I did, that is also an additional $1,000. And if you go ahead and do the full self-driving capability, right now it is about $10,000 as Elon Musk has continued to raise the price month after month pretty much. And I actually don't have the full self-driving capability on my personal Tesla because all I would really get right now is the summon feature. I think it would auto park for me and it would do a couple of other various things, but at the end of the day I can still get on the freeway and I can still go ahead and put it in autopilot. I just can't lane change and it won't get me on or off of the actual freeway. So there you have it. The cost of the Tesla is pretty affordable when you look at it comparatively to other cars in a similar category, okay? To go ahead and reserve the Tesla is very simple. You put a $100 deposit down, and within 5 to 7 weeks, they claim, your car will be ready. Now, in terms of other costs associated with owning a Tesla, there really isn't a lot, okay? I actually live in an apartment complex where I live actually right where I work also, and the only time I really ever end up driving is when I go to show a property as I'm in real estate. And, I kind of drive around town a little bit, but really charging the Tesla is very, very inexpensive, especially in comparison to gas, okay? I've had a lot of gas cars in my life, and gas can really add up. And I know gas prices are a little bit cheaper right now, but at the end of the day, owning an electric car definitely saves me a significant amount of money. And again, comparatively to other cars in kind of the same category in which I could buy a Tesla Model 3, such as like a lot of the Mercedes, a lot of like the Audi, like I think the A7, the Jaguar XF, and multiple other cars, again, those cars are going to run me a significant amount of money in gas. Now I do have the 2020, and I wish I would have waited and just gotten the 2021, because in 2021, Tesla went ahead and got rid of the chrome accents, the chrome trim, and they went ahead and replaced it with all matte black. And I personally like the black a lot more than the chrome, but the chrome isn't really that bad at the end of the day. It's just kind of a preference thing. So for the next point, I want to go ahead and dive into reliability a little bit. Now for reliability, there's not going to be a lot to talk about because at the end of the day, the Tesla is one of the most reliable cars I've ever owned. Prior to owning the Tesla Model 3, I owned a Range Rover, and the Range Rover, at the end of the day, was not a reliable car. It was always breaking down, and every time I turned around, it was either in the shop or it was broken down on the side of the road. So I highly stand behind what I'm saying when I say that the Tesla Model 3 is a very reliable car. Any of the problems that I've ever had with the Tesla Model 3 have been able to be fixed right through the Tesla app. You're probably like, Austin, how in the world do you fix your car through your phone? But I promise you, Tesla makes it really, really simple. So if your car ever breaks down, all you have to do, you go to your actual Tesla app, and then you go ahead and you scroll down to service. Once you get to service, you can actually schedule service right through the app. However, there are a couple of things that just simply don't work the way that I think they should. One of those things being that every time I walk up to the car, for whatever reason, it never seems to want to unlock with just using my phone as a key. Now Tesla, when you go to buy the Tesla Model 3, they give you a couple of keys that look like a credit card, and I don't ever really use those because it is really nice, I will say, to not have to bring your wallet everywhere you go and to just be able to bring your phone. But a lot of times, like I said, I'll walk up to my car and my door will just not unlock. I literally have to pull my phone out, I've got to like mess around with it for a minute, and I've really got to go ahead and like put a lot of energy into actually getting my car unlocked. Another big complaint I have when it comes to reliability is when I go on road trips, the navigation does not seem to be entirely accurate. Like for example, I'll literally route like 200 miles up to the mountains, up to Flagstaff or Sedona or Payson, and it'll tell me about how much miles it is going to use in terms of range, and it never seems to be entirely accurate. And I've looked at a lot of forums online, and what a lot of forums say is because it isn't taking into consideration the heating or the cooling, right? So myself, obviously, I live in Arizona, and in the middle of the summer, it is very, very hot, okay? And what I think is happening is it isn't taking into consideration that I'm gonna be running my air conditioner the entire duration of the trip. So what ends up happening is all of a sudden, it'll say that I'm able to make it to my destination, but in all reality, I'm not able to make it. So what I have to do instead is I have to stop at a Tesla charger before it actually tells me to stop. So let's just say from here to my destination, there are like 2 or 3 Tesla chargers on the way there, and it tells me that I don't need to go to the first one, I can go to the second or the third. Typically, I'll go ahead and go to the first one anyways, because if I wait to the second or the third, I could actually end up running out of range. Range anxiety is 100% a real thing. I never thought in a million years that I would be saying that, but if you plan to go on longer road trips, I would definitely recommend going with the extended range model. A really big thing for me is the enjoyment that I get every single day when I own my Tesla. You know, I've had a lot of cars in my life, and a lot of them have actually been a ton of fun. But for the price of a Tesla Model 3, especially the performance, okay, the enjoyment that I get is unparalleled to any car that I could buy relative to the price that I would pay for a Tesla Model 3. So at the end of the day, aside from reliability, aside from kind of all of the other smoke and mirror that I could potentially go talk about and will in a future video, I just want to say that every time I get into my Tesla Model 3 and I enjoy the technology that I have literally at my fingertips, I'm able to watch Netflix, play arcade games, I'm able to do all sorts of different things in the Tesla. And then again, I'm a guy, I thoroughly enjoy stepping on the gas pedal, pulling out in front of a bunch of traffic, and going 0 to 60 in 3.1 seconds. Elon is always coming up with random software updates, and there's always things that the car can do that I never thought in a million years it would be able to do. And I thoroughly enjoy getting into it every day and kind of looking forward to what new software update, Elon came up with at the end of the day, and how he even came up with the software update that he came up with. There's a ton of natural light in the Tesla Model 3, and every time I get in the car, I get a lot of vitamin D, and I get a lot of dopamine, because I get in the car and I thoroughly enjoy everything about the car. It is very simple, and it is very minimalist style, as I actually think Elon has referred to the Tesla Model 3 as a minimalist car. So you've literally got one screen that controls everything, and I mean everything, okay? And you have like this entire glass panel on top of the car. There's literally nothing to it, and for me, that brings a ton of enjoyment. There you have it. Thank you so much for watching the video. I really hope that you enjoyed it. If you haven't already, I would really appreciate it if you go ahead and just smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Also, go ahead and drop into the comment section below letting me know what you liked, what you didn't like, what you think about the Tesla Model 3. I would love to hear your thoughts, your opinions, and if you haven't already, also go check out my podcast. There's a link in the description below. It is called The A&A Show. Definitely go check that out. We interview cool people. We talk about life, business, finance, money, pretty much everything you could possibly think of, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.